Hello, everybody. I see so many of you hopping on. I see all of your wonderful faces. So many of you on camera. This is fantastic. Happy Friday, everybody. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. For those of you who may not be familiar with who I am, my name is Alexis Murray. I'm one of the program managers here at the CaPP Institute. I have specifically been spearheading our Advanced Professional Coach program, which some of you might be interested in. I think I actually see some of you online that are already registered. So that's always exciting. We have a lot of you joining us today. Some of you might be at the introductory phase, might be just getting into coach training, maybe CTI, possibly heading into CPEC. But regardless of where you are, this laser coaching demo opportunity is just a chance for you to learn by osmosis. One of the things that Valorie, our founder, has shared over time is that there's such a rich and unique opportunity that comes from just watching coaching done well, and understanding what that looks like on all of the different levels, regardless of whether you're just starting out or whether you're at the advanced phase. So we're going to bring on Valorie in just a minute. She's going to tell you a little bit more about what we're going to do today, what you're going to see in this laser coaching demo. And then, of course, you'll have the opportunity to ask any questions that you might have following the demo, whether it's around coach training, the Advanced Professional Coach program, or any other training program that we have. So if you have comments or questions around CTI or CPEC, or even mentor coaching. We also have our level one program manager on with us, Kristen Terlitsky, who's just fantastic. I'm sure quite a few of you have had the opportunity to talk with her and to work with her, and she is just such a gem and will be here on at the end to answer any questions that you have. So without further ado, I'm going to pull Valorie on, and we're going to get started with our laser coaching demo in just a second.
Hey there, Alexis. Hi,
Everybody, there we
everyone.
go.
It's so good to see all of your faces. I'm sorry I had trouble getting into my own meeting. So it took me a minute, but I recognize some of you because we've got a few people who have graduated from some of our from our APC program, and then many who are CPEC and some who are thinking about just jumping in with CTI, our coach training intensive, which of course we have our next one coming up. So before I jump into coaching, I would like to give y'all a chance, if you want to, in the chat, tell me where you are and what got you here to our preview call and our coaching demo today. Great to see so many of you here. Alicia, Maury, Carolyn, Aaron. You know what I love is when I say hi and I call your name, but there's like three of you with the same name. It's super efficient. Hey, Robin, Roy Tunda, nice to see you. Hey, Joe, Kylie. Love it. Oh, sure. I don't know if it's Cherie or Sherry, but I'm excited you've signed up for the March CTI all the way from Idaho. Awesome. Look at that. Mirjam, good to see you from Egypt. So wonderful. Yep, yep. Oh my goodness, Jasmine, I remember you. That was over a decade ago. We met at For Sisters Only in DC. You were one of our early CTI graduates. So good. All right, Alexandria, VA. That's about 5 miles from where I used to live. We got more Georgia. Good. Kylie, we're excited about you joining us in March, just a few weeks away. We got North Carolina, more Virginia, LA. Love it out there. Cleveland, yes, from the Maxwell team. Many of you know I have this wonderful, wonderful privilege of being the coaching mentor for Maxwell Leadership, which is, of course, John Maxwell's program for all sorts of coaches, trainers, consultants, speakers around the world. And we have quite a few Maxwell Leadership members that come through our programs, those who are wanting to go deeper in their coaching. So I'm also going to tell you real quickly, we've kind of relaunched our coaching and positive psychology podcast. So our episode today that came out today is all about why standards of excellence in coaching are so very important and being able to go to that next level, which is what we like to help you do. And the reason I thought of that is because among our Maxwell team members, of course, I do an on-demand training there about somewhere between 16 and 20 hours of training. And a lot of people that get that coaching bug are like, I want more. And you end up here at the CaPP Institute. So I am so excited to see that because it's important to me that we um, really understand that coaching is a profession, it is a discipline. And although people sometimes just slap the name coach onto whatever they're doing, coaching's a profession. It changes lives, and there's a specific way to do it and do it well and do it with excellence. And so, my passion around coaching, and I think anyone that goes through our programs here shares this passion, is to really standardize coaching at a level of excellence that when we get, maybe it's another decade from now or so, everybody understands what it means to be coach, what you should be looking for in terms of a person's skill set, the ethical guidelines that they follow, et cetera. And at the CaPP Institute, that's a big part of our mission. And it's why our programs are aligned with the ICF core coaching competencies, and we're accredited at level 1 and at level 2, because we really believe the accountability is what's necessary for institutions to teach you how to coach and for you to know, hey, we're all following a specific set of standards that we know work. All right, I'm going to get off my soapbox, but I'm very passionate about that, which is one of the reasons I'm so happy to see you here. So I see you, Susan, Jennifer, Pamela in Barbados. Hey there, Wanda, Paula, Carlene, Renee. There's so many of you. Ruby, Caitlin. Yes, yes, Rachel, Sandra, Samantha. Thank you all for joining me. Okay, so Alexis, I know we changed who I was coaching. So I'm going to ask you to come back on and introduce who I'm coaching so we can jump right in with this coaching demo.
Absolutely. So we have Rotunda Stabler with us today. You
Yes,
might remember
Rotunda.
Rotunda.
Good.
Yeah, she's been with us through CTI, CPAC, and our Advanced Professional Coach program. So I'm going to pull her up in just a second, and she's going to be the one to have our laser coaching demo for today.
Awesome. Awesome. So as you guys probably figure out, I have no idea what I'm going to coach Rotunda on. And that's fine because you don't have to know a bunch of details before you start coaching someone in order to be able to coach them effectively. A part of what we do, obviously, when we start out in CTI, we give you this great structure. We call it a SARA to be able to conduct a coaching session. As you learn a SARA, you go through CTI, and then CPEC, you really get good at it because you get a lot of practice. At the APC level, we're helping you move from coaching competence and proficiency and even professionalism to mastery. And one of the first things we teach you in APC is what these levels of coaching mastery look like. How do you evaluate those core coaching competencies at a level 1, right? At a level 2, at a level 3. We teach you at a mastery level, meaning a master certified coach level, assuming that if you learn at that level, at the very least, you're going to be coaching at level 2. In CPEC, we really try to teach you at a level 2. We're somewhere between a level 1 and 2. And what we're really telling you, guaranteeing you, is that when you move through our program, CPEC, you are at level 1. That's why we're a level 1 accredited program. So when we evaluate you and you earn your certified personal and executive coach designation, the ICF has granted us that authority as a level 1 program to say, yes, this person coaches at this level. So if you go get your credential, if you apply for it, we're confirming that. In APC, we're confirming that you're coaching at least at level 2. Okay. And so even if you never apply for your PCC, you're graduating from a program that's affirming that you're coaching at least at the PCC level. So I want y'all to hear that because that's really significant. You might not have the 500 client hours yet, but that doesn't mean you're not coaching at a PCC level because we're teaching you at that level. We're confirming you at that level. All right. I've said a lot. Rotunda, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Can you share with us where you are from and what programs you've been through at CaPP?
Absolutely. I'm from Georgia. I've participated in actually all of the programs from the very beginning. I just recently graduated from the APC program. I
You're a
also did the
pioneer
mentor
cohort.
coach. And it was wonderful too. I must say, it really built my confidence. It allowed me to network with other coaches and learn from other coaches. Um, one thing I look for as a retired principal are the teaching modalities, and all of my learning modalities were addressed, which helped me to become stronger and understand the theories and the practices of coaching, to understand what I was doing and why I was doing it. So, for
Mhm.
instance, the visual, the audio, and the tactile, having time to practice the theory and all was just wonderful. And like I said, it built my confidence, and especially knowing that I'm coaching at a PCC level, it was just exhilarating.
It's exhilarating. Yes. I remember when I got to the PCC level, it just felt very gratifying. It was a lot of hard work, but I think seeing the difference in how your clients are transforming or getting results is in itself gratifying. So thank you for trusting us because you were in the pioneer APC cohort before we officially got the accreditation because we had to graduate people before we could apply for the accreditation. So the 27 graduates, you're one of them. We really appreciate you trusting us that we would get you over the line. And we were excited in September when we got that accreditation. So thank you for agreeing to be coached today. I'm
Sure.
gonna let everybody just know what we're doing here and what you're looking for. This is a laser coaching session, just meaning it's a short coaching session. It's not a full hour coaching session. And what we do in APC is build a higher level of confidence um, in helping you just be as a coach, not as much on what are the steps and what am I doing, but you just begin fully embodying all of those competencies, that presence that means so much when you are coaching. And so what I'm going to do is do what I do, coach Rotunda, but I want you to see what coaching looks like. And I'm not going to claim it's going to be perfect coaching. Um, but I'm going to do my very best to show up at that mastery level. So, Rotunda, what do you most want to get out of our session today?
What I would like to get out of our session today is being able to manage my time more effectively to accomplish the goals that I set forward. I have I don't want to say obstacles, but currently have a lot going on in my life. I'm living in that sandwich generation where I'm caring for elderly parents, and I have a 23-year-old that is getting married in May. So
Oh,
there's a lot on my
congratulations.
plate.
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
And my goal was to complete the PCC certification in December. Of course, December has come and gone. And so I feel like I'm just not maximizing my time to meet the needs or to meet my goals and to accomplish the things that I set forward to do. I did start a business back in April, coaching and consulting. I've done a little bit with that, not as much as I had anticipated, where I would be at this point. But given everything else that I'm doing, I'm okay with just taking it a little slower.
yeah.
But I really don't feel like I'm maximizing my time as much as I could be, and mostly because I'm tired.
Yeah. Well, I can only
But
imagine. I mean, you're mentioning a lot of things here, and many of them good, big milestones, starting your business, your child getting married, finishing the APC program, and then some things you feel like you should have done, like, oh, I was going to get my PCC right in the middle of the holidays, is what I heard. Now it's February. And then your parents. Of
yes,
course, I'm assuming parents, but you said the sandwich generation.
yeah.
But what you want out of our session is being able to manage your time more effectively.
Mhm.
What specifically would let you know that you got out of this session what you're wanting in terms of managing your time effectively?
I think providing some strategies. First of all, honing in on which goals I want to meet.
Mm.
and when, and then determining what strategies I can implement in order to meet those goals.
Okay. So
I
the goals you
have a
actually want to
goal.
meet, and then the
Mhm.
strategies for reaching those goals in terms of time or just
In
overall.
terms in
Okay.
terms of just meeting them overall, but in order to meet them, to maximize my time or use my time more efficiently to meet the
Okay.
goals.
So let's say it's 6 months from now.
Hmm.
How would you know that you are living out what you're hoping to take out of this coaching session?
6 months from now, I would have completed the PCC or obtained the PCC. I would have accomplished a routine for exercising and taking care of myself so I could be available for others. And we'll just start with that.
Okay. So that's really specific. It sounds like those are the goals. Is there anything missing from that?
I want to continue to work on, my business, but right now, Um, I'm consulting with the organization and that's in place. I'm okay with that for now. I'm just going to have to take it slow because I really cannot commit to obligations with my parents. They live in Ohio. We live in Georgia. They're 90 in their 90s, so we're traveling a lot back and forth. Both of them were recently hospitalized. Their health is declining some. So that is a lot. So committing to something major right now is just not in the picture because I want to spend as much time with them as I can. And like I said, we're flying back and forth a lot.
Rotunda, may I make an observation? It's not time related, just something I was thinking. Would that be okay?
Yes, yes, please.
Um, it it is not an easy thing to take care of parents. I hear you doing it very intentionally and with a lot of love while trying to make sure you're taking care of yourself too.
Hmm.
And it's not easy, but it's not something you ever regret. I'm hearing you say, I want to spend as much time with them as possible because you realize that time won't always be here.
Correct.
Yeah. And what that says to me is that you are a very intentional person when it comes to how you spend your time. What has this process taught you, this process of taking care of your parents, that you need to remember as you find the strategies to be more effective with your goals and your time?
It's taught me that if I don't, well, not to be hard on myself, if I don't meet the goals when I anticipate on meeting them, I'm okay with stepping back and reevaluating and determining what I can do and celebrating the things that I have accomplished along the way. Because there has been a lot of positive things that are happening. But I have to just be okay with, not being able to commit to things like I used to be able to, and just not being hard on myself.
When you say not being hard on myself, what are you having a tendency to do that is being hard on yourself?
I get frustrated. Like, I really wanted to complete the PCC in December, and um, I guess I was hard on myself because I was afraid of, I guess, addressing it then because I didn't feel like I was ready,
Mm.
which now I look back on it and I'm like, I really was ready, but I'm not still ready. But I just feel like I needed to study down to the minute to just make sure that I got this and I'm going to pass this. I guess I hate the feeling of failure.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but you can
What
always take it again.
I mean, you're answering your own fears, but I am curious when you're putting it off, you're telling yourself, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. I've got to study more. I've got to study more,
Mhm.
which I think what I'm hearing is that kept you from going ahead and moving forward in
It
December.
did.
Hmm.
Yeah, it
So
did.
if you were to manage your time effectively now with regards to the goal of getting to your PCC, what would you do next?
Um, I'm definitely reviewing the material and I'm just going to go ahead and sign up
Mhm.
and take the assessment.
And when are you going
And
to?
when am I going to do that? Um, well, next month is going to be crazy with the wedding stuff. So April is probably my best bet.
What would keep you from doing it in February?
Ah, great question. Nothing.
Hmm.
I guess I'll look at signing up in February then.
I mean, if there's something that's keeping you, I want you to identify it, but if there's nothing, then what do you want to do?
Right. I know I have a couple of trips back to Ohio this month. Um, but towards the end of February, there's nothing preventing me.
Ah.
So that is something I can definitely do.
So, what dates in February are you available to move forward? It sounds like you've gone through the first part of the process. All you need to do is take the credentialing exam. Is that what I'm hearing you
That
say?
is correct. Yes.
You've done everything except
I
take.
know. I know.
So, when are you available in February?
The end of the month, last week of February.
Okay, so let's see, 9th. So the week of the 23rd.
I believe that is correct. Yes.
Okay. And so your next step, as far as I remember from the ICF, is going on the website, finding where you're taking it, and scheduling it.
That is correct.
Okay. And how long do you think that'll take you to sign up for it?
Not long at all.
That's not very specific, Rotunda.
It'll just take me a few minutes to do it.
Oh, when do you have a few minutes to go ahead and register for the exam?
Right after this coaching session.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Will you please send me or Alexis or Kristen an email? Just let us know when you're taking it because I want to celebrate that with you.
I will definitely do so.
Okay.
Yes.
How are you feeling about that plan?
I feel good about it because it's always been on my mind. It's like, okay, I could do this, I can do this. And I keep putting it off. And I'm like, why am I doing that to myself? So I like just saying, you know what? Let's just rip that Band-Aid off. Let's just do it.
Just do it.
I
Yeah.
don't want too much time to go by because of
Yeah.
all the learning and the studying. So I like this.
Okay.
And
And
I
so
will.
I'm sorry, I talked over you. What did you say?
I'm sorry. I just said, and I will. I will sign up.
So you mentioned you have a fear of failure, which was
Yes.
part of why you pushed it off in December.
Yes.
So I almost hesitate to ask the question because it feels, well, it doesn't matter what I think it feels. What if you don't pass the exam?
Then I'll just study some more and take it again.
Oh, how do you feel about that?
I'm okay with that
How many times are you willing to take it?
until I beat it. I've worked hard. I'm getting this certification.
So basically, it does not really matter because you're
Right.
going to take it until you pass it.
That is correct. I will. Yes.
So what are you learning about yourself so far in this session?
Um, I just need to overcome that fear, just do it. And I realize that even though I don't like failure, I'm human. And if I have to reassess or go back and regroup, that's okay.
Hmm. It's just part of the process.
It's part of the process. Yes.
Okay. So how are you feeling about your your time management as it relates to your PCC right now? On a scale of 1 to 10, how do you feel about your plan?
As far as signing up or as far as preparing for it?
You
Or
said
both?
you had two goals, your PCC and getting together a kind of a health and, self-care plan.
Yeah.
So we talked through the first one. I'm wondering how complete you feel.
I I feel like obtaining the PCC, just that determination. I feel really good about it. I feel great about moving forward. I really do.
Okay. So the second goal you said you had is around your own health and how you are taking care of yourself. So, what is the goal that you have there, and how is time management impacting what you're doing right now?
So my goal is to take care of myself so I can take care of others. Like I mentioned, my parents are in their 90s. They were recently hospitalized and they're getting rehab. So I'm working a lot with them, and I have my own health issues with my back. And I want to be able to work out more and to stretch and do the things I need to do to strengthen myself, my body, so I can help them. And the things I've done so far is I joined a gym in Ohio because I'm there a lot. And also have a gym membership here in Georgia. It's just a matter of getting to the gym because by time my dad is at home and mom's in a skilled nursing facility. So by the time I'm going back and forth, I'm exhausted. I get home. Gym is the last thing that I want to do. So I'm forcing myself to look at the times during the day, maybe getting up earlier in the morning before I get started with my day to exercise. And then while I'm brushing my teeth or cooking or doing something, I can do some stretching or strengthening exercises during that time. I haven't implemented that piece yet. So that is something that I'm looking at how I can incorporate that into my schedule. So I am getting that time in. And if I could get to the gym, at least when I'm in Ohio, at least 3, 4 times a week, I think I've accomplished what I'm setting out to do there, and with the addition of doing exercises, brushing my teeth, cooking, and different things like that. I'll feel pretty good about meeting that piece of the goal in Ohio. When I'm in Georgia, just getting to the gym at least 3 to 4 times a week and
Mm.
walking more.
So, what's making it hard for you to manage your time around a fitness plan?
I'm not getting up early in the morning and I'm tired. So I just need to look at maybe changing my sleep schedule so I can get up earlier.
What's happening with your sleep, Rotunda?
I'm staying up late with, my parents, my dad while he's home. I'm staying up late, just monitoring him. But while he's sleeping, I can sleep, um, which would be very beneficial. And then,
So, let me just
my,
make sure I'm understanding. You're staying up late because you're helping your father, but then your father
mhm,
goes to sleep, but you're not going to sleep when he goes to sleep. Is that what I'm hearing?
right. Mhm.
How long are you staying up on average after he finally falls asleep?
Probably midnight, 12 o'clock.
And he's going to sleep when?
He'll probably go to sleep around 9.
So you're staying up another 3 hours.
Hmm.
What's going on with you during those 3 hours?
Um, well, it's not every day, but I'm taking care of all of their business and bills and all of that. It's not every day though. Um, Sometimes I'm cleaning, but I think I can manage that a little bit better than what I am,
Mm.
and just be
But you're
relaxing.
managing things. You're not, I mean, you could be just scrolling on Facebook for 3 hours.
No.
But I'm not hearing that that's what's happening. I'm hearing there's more to do. And so you're actually managing their lives, their bills, and other things during that time.
Yes.
Mm. So when you
But it's
say,
not every day.
okay, it's not your day, how often? Half of the time, a quarter of the time, two-thirds? How
I would
many?
say maybe 2 or 3 days out of the week that I might be doing something like that. And then the other times I'm just not sleepy. I might watch TV.
Mhm.
I may just be resting,
You're being human, is what I'm
and
hearing.
that's time I use. Hmm.
You're 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 doing a lot, you finish and you're kind of unwinding.
Yeah.
So when you think about effective time management, based on what you're saying you're doing, what is ineffective about how you're spending that time in the evening?
Um, I'm thinking maybe I can do spread out the time that I'm doing those things and maybe spend an hour instead of 3 hours and go to bed earlier so I can get up earlier and go to the gym.
Okay. So putting some boundaries, being very intentional.
Yes, I think that would definitely help.
Okay. What's the significance of going to the gym in the morning versus the evening or some other time of day?
I've tried the evening. By then, if I'm home, I'm tired. A couple of times I'll get up and I'll go. But I feel like if I get my day started working out, that's behind me. And then anything else I do is extra during the day. A lot of times, I'll just come home and I'm just tired. And I'm like, do I really want to go to the gym? And it's in Ohio where it's snowing and it's freezing cold. So going back out in the cold again, no brainer. I'm inside cuddling
And
or
and
cozy.
is the gym definitely what it needs to be versus exercising at home or elsewhere?
Um, for what I need, the gym is definitely necessary. Yes.
Okay. All right. So with what you've said so far, I'm curious to know if you put your, hey, I am effective at time management hat on,
Okay.
what would you advise yourself to do next week? I'm not saying you've got to, do this every single time, but if you were to experiment next week or the next time you're in Ohio, what could you set up and do differently that would feel like, hey, I'm being effective in managing my time?
I'm a visual learner, so I think writing my schedule down on a calendar and just checking it off, that would serve for a couple of purposes. One, I've accomplished the goals, and two, I can see how far I come,
Mhm.
and that will allow me to celebrate the small things. I mean, it may not happen every day perfectly, but at least these are things that I've accomplished. Um, So I think just writing it down is going to be very beneficial for me. Like what time I'm doing this, what time I'm doing this, as far as it pertains to taking care of myself and my health. I think that would be very beneficial for me.
You sound very sure about that. How are you going to remember that as you move forward?
I already have a calendar. I just need to do it.
Okay. Would it be helpful for you now to jot down what you're saying you're going to do, or do you feel confident that you'll remember it out of this session?
Oh, I'll remember it. But I am going to jot it down.
I'm going to give you the time to do that.
Okay. Okay.
So I asked you and you came immediately with what you need to do. So it sounds like you already know what you need to do.
I do.
If you were to get started on this plan next week, what could you do right here in this session to go ahead and do the planning that's needed to outline what that looks like?
What would I do in this session to plan
Mhm.
other than writing it down?
You need to look at your calendar. What do you need to do right now in order to walk away with a game plan?
Well, I need to definitely mark down the hours and the times and what I'll be doing, and then think about what each of those steps would entail. Like in the
Okay.
morning, I'm going to have everything ready
Mhm.
so I can get up and go. Um, I have the mats, I have the weights, making sure that those things are available at the home. So while I'm doing, like brushing my teeth or cooking, I can do what I need to do there. Just making sure that
Rotunda,
those
can I
things are
stop you for a moment?
sure. Hmm.
I hear a really grand plan coming together. And I'd like to invite you to go ahead and write your grand plan down or type it in your computer, whatever is going to be most helpful for you. And I'm going to give you a
Okay.
couple minutes to just do it because it seems to be flowing very easily. You done?
I am.
That was so fast. What
Shorthand.
else? What's shorthand? Yeah. So what else do you need, Rotunda?
I'm feeling pretty good about what we've talked about. Like you said, I have a plan for obtaining the PCC. I have a plan and a process for meeting my needs as far as taking care of myself. And it feels good.
Mm.
It feels really good to know that it can be done. I just need to get out of here and get into action. And being able to do the steps that you mentioned, just writing it down, and then for myself going forward and writing it down on the calendar and actually doing it.
I am curious to know if you've done this before, if you've written it down before and then not taken action, or is writing it down and planning the inspiration you need to move into action?
Writing it down definitely moves me into inspiration to act. When I don't write it down or when I don't commit to something, then I don't do it.
Mm.
And so, like, I have to make an appointment. I know that I'll show up for the appointment. But if I just say, oh, I'll just do this, it doesn't always happen. So if I write it down or um, I just like seeing what it is I need to do and then checking it off and feeling good about it. So that motivates me.
Mm. That's very insightful about what motivates you. That's a
Hmm.
piece of wisdom you can carry with you and use over and over, but it does take a little time. I mean, you seem to do it. You did that in about 60 seconds. Maybe it was 2 minutes. So it's not a lot of time. How will you need to show up differently in order to make the space to plan on a weekly basis?
I think once a week I can pretty much map out what it is that I need to do for the upcoming week.
Mhm.
Is that what you're saying? How am I going to go about? Yeah.
Because you're saying this
So
works for you. So I'm wondering,
it
how do
does.
you incorporate that into who you are, whether you are on a trip to Ohio or you're here in Georgia?
I think taking one day a week at the beginning of the week, just writing it down. And because I know pretty much how my schedule is going to run when I'm in Georgia. And in Ohio, that's kind of iffy. It just depends on what's happening with my parents at the time. But if things are as they are now, I can sort of map out what I need to do for the week
Okay.
at a time.
Is there a day and time of the week that could be your consistent time, or is there a different way you would schedule those appointments with yourself?
No, I would do it on a Sunday. Sunday, perhaps right after church. Hmm.
Will you add that as an appointment to your calendar on Sundays every week?
I think that would be smart because I will show up.
So I didn't hear a yes. I just heard I think it's smart. So I'm going to ask again.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. And I also have a Alexa reminder too. So
You
I
have more than one reminder.
have one more than one.
Okay. So how complete do you feel with our session?
I feel very complete. I feel good. I feel like I've addressed the two dilemmas that I was struggling with. Um, Talking it through gave me insight as far as why I may not be working or taking the PCC as soon as I should have.
Mm.
And it's given me a plan for how to manage my time better so I can care for myself. So I feel like I've accomplished everything. I have a game plan. I have time commitments that I could commit to without a doubt, to ensure that these things are done. And so I feel really good about having the opportunity to talk and work through this.
Well, I appreciate the opportunity to coach you. I do have another question. It's just a
Mm-hmm.
curiosity in the back of my head. You were
Mm-hmm.
really clear. You said it a couple of times that you wanted to learn to manage your time so you and take care of yourself better so you could take care of others.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm also curious if there's any other reason why taking care of yourself matters to you besides being able to take care of your parents.
Um, just for my own health, um, you know, just taking care of myself, ensuring that I'm healthy and, doing well myself. But I guess when I made those comments, I was thinking mostly about my back because I need to strengthen my back to support them. So that's probably where those comments were coming from. And that's why going to the gym is important because they have the equipment for me to do so. But definitely, I want to take care of myself to just for me and taking time out for me. And I am taking time out for self. I think about some of the classes that we've taken in the APC about, well, actually, several of our classes were just being present in the moment and enjoying the space. And I do that, and it's so very helpful because it's not easy, like you said, taking care of your elderly parents and seeing what they're going through and all. It's not easy. So having the skill set to kind of take a breath and step back and just being has been so helpful for me, not only through my coaching, but also for myself, just getting myself through some of those hard times. And so definitely taking care of myself is important for my own well-being.
So, if there was anything you're taking away from this session that you really want to remember as you move forward, what would it be?
Well, there's a lot of great things taking away from this. I definitely thought about my insights as far as what I'm dealing with, what I would like to accomplish, how I'm being intentional. I have to be intentional. I'm learning a lot more about myself as an individual. I'm just talking it out. And then also ensuring that I have a process in place that I can monitor to accomplish the things that I set out to accomplish. And also making sure that I take time out to celebrate the small things. I don't know if I answered your question or not, but
I was just curious, really more for you to solidify what are you taking away so you remember those things as you move forward, because that's newfound wisdom, right?
yeah,
From our
yeah, just
conversation.
having the process. Yeah,
Rotunda, I really appreciate the opportunity to coach you. Um,
thank
and
you.
just want to affirm and acknowledge what a blessing you are to your parents.
Oh,
Uh,
thank you.
and so I'm just wishing you all the energy and perseverance and good health and strength for your back.
Yes.
And I'm excited that you, this time next month, I'm declaring will be a professional certified coach in addition to being an advanced professional coach. So thank you so much, Rotunda.
Thank you. I really appreciate the time. I appreciate you.
Thank you. All right, y'all. That was a coaching session. I think that was about 30, maybe 33 minutes, somewhere in there. Um, a lot happened in that session. I saw that y'all were in the chat. I wasn't reading the chat because, well, I can't really read the chat unless I pull it up and put my glasses back on. But Alexis, you want to come back up and we can discuss and take any questions around what just happened there? Any
Yeah.
observations?
I always think it's just such a great opportunity to see you coach live and in real time. There's so much to just glean from seeing it happen and seeing all the different ways that a coaching session can unfold and how you navigate all of that and do it so well and so um, professionally. So, yeah, there's a lot of comments in the chat.
I'm going back
Just
in the chat right now to see if there are
observing,
questions.
yeah.
Yep.
Lots of really great observations, and it's so interesting because it's all those little nuances, those small details that really make a difference and change how you coach and how you show up and the progress that you're able to help with your clients. So happy to just kind of skim through some of these. They were all so good, great observations. I could tell there was quite a bit of mindful listening going on while we were watching that coaching
If
session.
anybody has a direct question, feel free to just raise your hand or otherwise put it in the chat. Um, so Caitlin actually said in the chat, I noticed Valerie asking similar questions that I'd hesitate to ask for fear of being repetitive, especially at the beginning, but they elicited more info, and that was very important. Exactly. So when we start out coaching, sometimes what our client says is kind of broad, and what I'm looking to coach around is something specific. She said, time management. That's a big subject, right? Your clients, I need time management. I need confidence. I need to communicate better. What you're wanting to get is to, okay, this is what they want. But is there a vivid, specific example? Is there something happening right now that describes what they're wanting? And so, what ends up happening as a result, if you can do that, and she did, she gave us two things specifically. She was hesitating on her PCC. She missed her original, goal date, and she's got to make sure she's taking care of herself as she's taking care of her parents. So we had two things. Then I wanted to understand, okay, so I can coach around both of those. You notice that's what I did. We started with PCC, then we went to the next. So I was being very intentional, but I was trying to get something specific we could coach around because otherwise I can just start asking these broad questions. Well, what's the problem with your time management? Well, it's that, yeah, you got to be specific. We can coach around something specific. So I was clarifying what the challenge was in front of her so that I had something to really coach her around and I could understand what the problem was. And she was giving lots of great information there. And it can feel repetitive, but I didn't feel like she was aggravated with my repetitiveness. She was trusting the process. Um, Also, once you do that, your client is going to have some new learnings about themselves that are going to apply to everything else. So, for example, her time management around her PCC wasn't really a time management issue. And somebody noted that here. It was actually a fear issue. She found the time to study, and she said, I studied, it gets so detailed. And basically she's saying, I'm being a perfectionist, but perfectionism is usually rooted in fear, and so is procrastination. I'm not going to be good enough. And what she was saying was, what if I fail? What if I fail? What if I fail? And then when I asked her, so what if you fail? She said, well, I'll just take it again. How many times are you willing to take it? Until I pass it. Also, that was the same thing I said to myself when I was going to get my MCC. But at first it was like, am I going to pass this MCC? Are they going to pass my record? Well, you know what? The first round of recordings, they didn't pass me. I was like, what do you mean you didn't pass me? I founded a coach training program, doggone it. But with perspective, I realized I know lots of other people who didn't pass the first time. It's not that big of a deal. There were a couple things that I needed to do differently and learn, which helps me teach better. So she said the same thing as me. I didn't say that because I am not relevant in her coaching session. It didn't matter if I had the same experience. I'm just pointing that out because that was a little thing that happened. Gwendolyn, I see your hand raised.
Hi, can you hear me?
I sure can.
I was appreciative and noted how you went for the yes. You know, she was in agreement. Remember that? You said, but I didn't hear the yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
She said, I think that sounds great. And I'm
Right,
like,
right,
so do
right.
I. That's why I
That's
asked.
that's important, right?
Yes, because we're trying to get a commitment. What are you going to
Exactly.
do next?
Mhm. That's
And
right.
so that's the active listening. Did I hear her say she's going to do it, or did I just hear her say she thinks that's a great idea? Those are two different answers.
Yeah,
So
that
yes,
was very good and
clarify.
observant. Thank you.
Sure thing. Caitlin,
Hey, can you hear me?
I sure can.
Okay, so one of my questions is,
Don't look at me, Caitlin. Don't look at me. I can hear you though.
so concrete inaction coaching can look so many ways and it can be successful in so many ways, but when you're recording for an exam, as you pointed out, you don't always pass. And I wonder how meeting these criteria for these recordings teaches you to pass a test specifically versus or in tandem with learning the specific skills for coaching. Does that question make sense?
Yeah. So are you just kind of studying to pass a test, or is this what you really need in order to coach well? Is that what I'm hearing?
Right. And I know you can need them both, but sometimes being able to put it in a recording and show it
Yeah.
becomes
Yeah. So I think a couple of things. One, as I said in the beginning, we are so committed at the CaPP Institute to a very high standard of excellence that is a standard across not just the coaching profession in the US, but across the world. That's one of the things I love about having that ICF accreditation. We're saying whether you are in China or the US or Peru or France, we're all agreeing to these things. So those coaching core competencies, they are looking for your coaching to reflect the essence of the competency. Now, let's say you're coaching and you're kind of 80, let's say 80% there in your typical coaching sessions. Let's say you're 75%. You're going to be effective. Your client is likely going to get more than they even came to the coaching session for, and you've done a great job. But when you're applying for your credential or your certification, you're showcasing that you know all the things. So what I suggest is recording multiple sessions, listening closely with that ear. For example, in APC, we actually teach you how to listen for the competencies. Yeah. Evidence is what the ICF calls it, that you're carrying out those competencies. And if you hear something or something's missing and you're like, I know what I did and I wouldn't do it again, but I'm still going to turn in the recording. I guarantee you the assessor's going to go, I wonder if she knows what she did. So that's why it's important. It's not that you're not a good coach. It's not that you didn't know you did it. But if you can identify something that doesn't reflect the competency well, then I would just record another session.
Mm-hmm.
I've recorded sessions for the purpose of presenting it for a credential, and the session just kind of went left. It's like,
Yeah.
I don't feel like recording another session. Well, then get over it. You need to record another session because this one's not going to work.
Yeah.
So it's not a perfect process. But I think what they're trying to do is make sure you understand what the competencies are and how to carry them out.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. I hope that's helpful.
I think so.
Somebody's having a good nap back there.
Yeah. That's Tommy. He's
Hey, Tommy.
happy to get out.
Love it. Thank you for joining me, Caitlin.
Yeah. Thank you.
Sure thing. Hey there, Maury. You're still on mute. I'm going to invite you to unmute. See if that. Oh, shoot. Now I just muted you back. Sorry.
Can you hear
There
me?
you go. Yes, I can hear you.
I understand what you were, I think I understand what you were saying about the competencies and how to coach with the competencies in mind. However, I was curious that, and correct me if I'm wrong, that two angles that you were trying to focus on were her concerns about time management and taking the APC. Am I saying that correctly?
So all of it was time management. That's what she wanted from the coaching session, to be more effective at time management was the first kind of outcome. That's the outcome she said she wanted. And then I was asking her, where is this causing a problem? And she said her PCC application and working out and taking care of her health. Okay. So that took the overall was time management, and then there were two examples of it. And so I coached around both of those examples.
Okay. I was curious in terms of why the question did not come up about any additional resources to help her with time management. Let me give you an example. She did not mention anything about having any siblings. So I presume I'm going to make the assumption that she was an only child.
We don't know that.
But
I think that would be a great question to ask.
Yeah.
Right?
But but you are correct. We don't know that. So, or that was really not a major concern. And maybe she had everything pretty much under control. So she didn't have to, look for any additional support. So I guess my question is, and maybe I'm answering my own question, is that can you ask a question regarding any additional resources?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right.
Absolutely. So everybody on this call could have coached Rotunda very well and had totally different questions.
Okay.
And she still could have gotten to what she needed. So I always say, as much as possible, try to make them open-ended. Like, what resources do you feel could help you in this situation? What else do you have access to? I asked her questions around what was making it hard, right? And then she went in the direction that she went in, and I then followed up with questions in that way. And what I took away is that if she stops and plans and writes down her plan, she's going to do well. If I was coaching her week to week to week, then once she tried that, if it worked, great, we move on to other challenges. But if she was still struggling, right, I might then ask some additional questions. And of course, if you've been coaching someone for a while, you probably already know what family is around, what resources, etc. But I think that's a fantastic question. It just didn't occur to me to ask in this particular session.
Okay, thank you.
Let me see if there are any others in the chat. I see that Ruby sending Rotunda prayers. Me too. Yeah,
We are right at the top of the hour, so I know some of you might have to hop on. I know, Valorie, there might be one more question, I believe, from Paula that might be helpful to answer. But for anybody who does need to go, just want to shoot you all a quick reminder that if you are interested or would like to learn more about our Advanced Professional Coach program, don't hesitate to reach out. I shared the link in the chat. You can book a call with me. We can talk more about any questions that you might have. But it's important to know that our next cohort is going to be starting in just a few weeks. We have registration closing here at the end of February. So if you pay in full, you automatically get a $200 off discount. And then we also have a couple of different payment plan options. So regardless of where you're at, just want to make sure you know that if you're interested, that you have that link and that you reach out if you have any questions. And for everybody else, you can hang
Alexis
on.
is talking about APC, the Advanced Professional Coach Program, which is for coaches with 60 or more hours of training, such as our Certified Personal and Executive Coach Program. Some of you hopped on and you're thinking about starting to coach. And we have our Coach Training Intensive, which is the very first step into our programs every quarter. The next one's March 7th through the 9th. So we're in the registration period for that. It's just 3 days. So if you're thinking about coaching, and we got a lot of CTI grads here, this is where you start and you get this really strong foundation. You get the structure of a Sarah, and it's just a great experience, live and virtual. And then that is your prerequisite to go into our Certified Personal and Executive Coach program. So Kristen is on here as well to answer those questions. I see Kay Mathis asks, what are they asking on this test that is so hard to pass? So it used to be a super easy open book multiple choice test until I think 2022. And we are in agreement with what the ICF chose to do. Like I said, they're upping the game, the standards of excellence. You know, in the US, there are no rules, there's no regulation around coaching. Anybody can call themselves a coach. But you know, at least here, if you're a fitness trainer, you've got to pass certain exams. If you're a CPA, if you're a financial planner, I mean, so many different areas. Coaching doesn't have that. And the ICF really is trying to make sure that the testing and the exam measures up to all the other professions. So it's now a proctored exam, just like when you go in to take the SAT or the ACT or any of those other tests. It is not open book. And basically they take these competencies. They used to ask you questions about what the competency is. Now they give you coaching scenarios and ask you what the best next step is for the coach and what the worst next step is. And you've got to be able to identify from, 4 answers, which of these it best reflects the core competencies and which of these is the furthest away from the core competencies. So that's why you hear people go, oh, am I going to pass this exam? All our students are coming back having passed it, even though they felt like they weren't sure if they passed it. And I got to tell you, I passed it the first time I took it. This was after I went through all the other things. But when you go through our programs, ours are accredited. So I had to take a portfolio track, which means everything I did, they were grading that like all individually. When you go through our program and you pass our program, you've checked a whole bunch of boxes. You're not turning in a recording. You're not doing all those other things because graduating from our program means you've already passed your oral exams, et cetera. So I didn't know if I passed it. I knew I had done my best, but I sat there and I finished and I was like, I have no idea. And I passed it way above the point that I had to, but I didn't feel like I knew for sure that I had passed it. We prepare you for it, so don't worry about it. But yes, it is a serious exam because we're upping the game in this profession so that whether it's a government entity or a corporation or an individual hiring you to coach, they understand that if you've got a certification from an accredited program, if you've got a credential from the ICF, it means something. And so that's what the exam situation is about. If you're already a coach, can you skip the first training step? So if you have 60 or more coach training hours, ICF, designated, or I'll say coach specific training hours, then you most likely are qualified to go into our APC program. But reach out to Alexis, because we have a little bridge we have you do to make sure you understand our ACERA structure, which may be new for you if you haven't gone through our programs. But yes, we have some people in this first cohort of APC that are coming over from other programs. We didn't do that in the Pioneer cohort because we were making sure to get everything right, but I'm excited about our Bridge program. And with this next cohort, there's no additional charge for the Bridge program. It's not going to be, it's just take you a few hours, not a big deal. So the answer is yes, we'd love to have you. Alexis just put her contact info there for you. It's A. Murray at capinstitute.com. And you can also set up a call if you want to chat with her, but we'd love to have you in our cohort that is coming up. Are there any other questions before we wrap up? I'm hoping this was really helpful, or at least fun for you to get to observe a little coaching and have this conversation.
I have
All
a
right.
question.
Yes, who's that?
Paula.
Hey, Paula.
Yeah. So thank you for taking this question. So one of the things that I get is that I'm still stuck on the energy of the coaching call. And it takes a lot of courage to go through and to do the coaching, and then for the person to be vulnerable. How do you not take that concern, the energy throughout your day?
So the energy of what your client is feeling?
Yes.
I think it's really important right before you coach to get grounded yourself, right? So that could be as simple as a couple of minutes where you're breathing and you're setting your intention as a coach in terms of how you want to set yourself up to serve. And to really embody that you're coaching and you're there to serve. This is separate. You're not emotionally trying to step into your client's shoes. You are really fully showing up as the coach who is a conduit. You're facilitating them getting to their answers. That doesn't mean you don't care. I have had clients say something that was really, knowing they're going through something that's big, right? And I want for them what they're wanting for themselves. But this is self-management, which we talk about in APC.
Okay.
Because at the highest level of coaching mastery, and hopefully even in your level 2 especially, you are managing your own emotions by maintaining that you are coach here. You're not therapist, you're not counselor, you're not even just their sister friend that's sitting there in it with them in that way. But you're a vessel, you're a conduit that's helping them get their answers. And if you get too caught up in your emotions, you can't serve what they need.
Right.
That's really huge, because yes, we feel for people. But if my feeling for you gets in the way of you getting your answers, I'm not being a good coach. And because I really desire to serve, I have to manage myself, because I'm trying to be like centered and a rock. They can go all over the place. But as coach, I can still maintain neutrality with kindness and love. But somebody's got to be a steady, safe place for them to say whatever needs to be said and to still stay focused on the outcome that the client is looking for. That just takes practice.
Okay.
But I love your question, because I even see it in how you're listening to me, that you're a person that has a lot of love and concern for people. So when you jump in, you're like, and so I would say you got to keep the breath. You can even, and you might be one of those people that you don't coach on Zoom, because you realize they're going to see all of this. It'll be easier for me to hit mute while they're talking and go, right. I always tell people, experiment with the medium that you use to coach, because if you're that kind of person, I've always only coached on phone. Even though you saw me do Zoom here, I find it harder because I'm visual, so I'm looking at too much. But I can feel through what I hear. I can hear the hesitations. I can hear the voice inflection, all of that. So I don't have a problem only hearing. And in thousands of hours of coaching, they've all been done for me by phone. So I have found that helpful
Okay.
also, because
Okay.
sometimes I walk around while I'm coaching. It just changes and shifts my energy. I might need to sit. I might get tired. You know, I'm coaching at 3 in the afternoon and I had a good lunch. I want to be able to stand up because that's going to help me with my energy. So decide what works for you better. And you might experiment with both to see if it helps you at all when you're not on video, to coach better and to maintain a little bit more of that energetic distinction.
Actually, I love that idea. Thank you.
You're welcome. That was a great question. All right, everybody, this has been fun. I'm hoping we see you in one of our upcoming programs, but thank you for joining. And if even if you're not coming in the program, or maybe you are, you might know somebody else that's been thinking about this, and maybe they need to know what we're doing. So please spread the word, because we're trying as much as possible to equip people to help people transform their lives and get the answers they're looking for. So thank you so much for joining us, and enjoy the rest of your Friday and have a fantastic weekend. Bye, everybody.